Kluber's done. 13 seasons, 2-time Cy Young winner. Last year was with Boston. Remember, he was struggling. They moved him to the pen. He eventually got shut down. He had the shoulder issues. But let's look at the good stuff. He went to Stetson. He didn't pick up his first big league win until he was 26 years old. So a late bloomer. And that, cost him, if you're looking at how much money he made, career earnings, but he's still fine. He's rich. And he had a great run. What will you remember him for? The World Series with Cleveland? That whole run?
Yeah. Booked him. I remember I booked him.
So did Brent Suter. So what?
I know. It's a big club, but I'm just saying.
I love how Kratz, so it's like, so tip your hat to Corey Kluber. What do you have to say, AJ? And he goes, booked him.
Yeah, absolutely. Need that. You need that. I appreciate
2-time Cy Young, bro. Trust me. That's a big deal.
True.
You hit homers off those guys. You remember those way more than
absolutely
some guy that no one's ever heard of before. That guy's got 2 trophies on his mantle. No, the 2016 playoff run he made with the Indians at the time, now the Guardians, was one of the great pitching performances. Him and Andrew Miller almost carried that team into a World Series championship. He got tired at the end because both of them were used so much by Tito, but that's the thing I remember. Just, Klubot, and he was going good, he was going bad. It was just like
unbelievable.
And so, listen, he had a great career, unbelievable career, threw a no-hitter. So congratulations, Corey, on a great career, and enjoy your retired life.
14 to 18, that's what I'll remember. His 5 seasons of utter dominance. And I was fortunate to go to spring training in 17, and Roberto Perez, he left to go play in WBC, and so I got to catch Klubot in spring training. And for me, I'm kind of a fan playing baseball, so getting the opportunity to catch a guy like that and to talk to him, he actually does talk. Like, he's not just going to whisper under his breath when he talks. Like, he actually talks. He's just not going to initiate conversations. So to talk to him and talk through everything that he does, it was a pleasure for me, because this dude was, for that 5-year stretch, he was the best pitcher. Him and Sale, I think, were the guys at that point. Price, I guess, was around during that time, but those were the guys.
Is Corey Kluber the Paul Goldschmidt of pitchers in our era for his consistent performing, I guess, quiet demeanor, lead by example, but still obviously can have a good baseball combo? I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with a comp.
Haven't
obviously
talked to
not
Paul,
performance-wise, but
they seem pretty quiet.
I can speak for Paul. He's quiet. It's not like he won't talk to you, and he's nice. It's just not what he's trying to do most of the time,
Super dedicated. This guy worked his absolute face off. Big Pilates guy too. So him and AJ have that in common. He had his Pilates. What do you call that track thing that that you slide on? I don't know what it is.
Reformer. It's called a reformer.
Reformer. Yeah, he had his reformer, and he got after it. The best players that I've seen, they all worked, and this dude worked. And to see him in his prime in 17 was pretty special.
No flash, no sizzle, nothing. That's what I'm saying with Paul too. Have you ever seen Paul Goldschmidt pimp a homer?
No.
I'm sure he has at some point.
I'm sure he has too, but you don't think about it. It's stone cold, poker face. I'm a machine. They used to call Albert the machine. And
they're machines. They are machines.
They're machines, right? They're consistent machines. And it's not like they're standing out. They're not really in the headlines, except for awards and for standing out in, big moments, especially talking about Kluber now again, right? But it's not like people are going, oh, I want to dress like Corey Kluber. Or, man, did you hear what Corey Kluber said? You're like, nah, this dude in his prime is just a 1, and we can't get him.
He's an ace.
We can't get to him. He's an ace. And he used his secondary stuff a lot. That was his bread and butter. I don't know, what part, you caught him in, but Kratz, I know early on in his career, Didn't have a good fastball. It got better. I think he was one of those 4-seam to 2-seam because you're going far back enough where you got a lot of the 2-seam to 4-seam for a long run. But
Yep.
it was the secondary stuff. I remember watching him like 10 years ago even, and you're like, oh, this dude's not even giving a guy a fastball in the first inning sometimes, right? Like he didn't need to establish the fastball. And back then, even if you go 10 years ago, sometimes you'd have those guys that would get pissed, like, come on, don't be a bitch, throw your fastball. It's like,
fastball.
My curve's nasty and my slider's good too. And I got a little change piece, so I'm good.
Yeah, he was dominant. Who is going to be remembered as a better pitcher? 2 Cy Young awards, but not the longevity of dominance. Blake Snell or Corey Kluber?
I'm going to say Snell right now because he's going to pitch longer.
Theoretically, Snell has so much career left to go. So I have to give it to Snell. I mean, I don't know how many years because I can't look at things as easily because I'm on location in actually the DR. But
5 years. 5 years. 235, 222, 215, 203, 215 innings.
Horse. Yeah. But Snell still might pitch for what?
Yeah. Snell might
5
pitch
to
for
7 more
Warriors.
years. Yeah.
I'm just saying at the end.
Yep.
Right now, you might be able to say Kluber, but at the end, I'm going to say Snell just because he's going to amass more numbers.
I would agree.
It's a good call, though. It's interesting.